Yeah. Well, live.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 6th edition of the MyBHARAT campaign in association with Mythic Society and organized by Disha Bharat. Disha Bharat is a 22-year organization working in the value education space. One of the most unique programs of Disha Bharat is the student induction program based on the AICTE guidelines. This is an activity-based workshop designed to help students seamlessly transition from school to college while understanding the responsibility towards themselves, their country, and culture. Today we have with us Professor T.G. Sitharam sir, who is here to talk to us about a very pertinent topic: reimagine education in India, shifting from rote to real learning. Professor T.G. Sitharam is currently the chairman of AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education. He had previously served as the director of IIT Guwahati and is a professor in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He has a BE in mechanical engineering from a University of Mysore, masters from IISc and PhD from the University of Waterloo, Canada. Sir has a vast experience in the area of technical education with over 35 plus years of teaching and research experience in the higher education space across India and the world. Sir is most certainly the perfect person to talk to us about reimagining the education in India, shifting from rote to real learning. Without much ado, I would like to welcome Professor T.G. Sitharam sir to the Disha Bharat platform. Sir, welcome to you, and the stage is yours. Thank you.
So, namaskara, ellarigu namaskara. Very good evening to you. And first of all, Sri Raghuramji and Miss Ramachandranji and Miss Bhavana, and all the other members who have assembled on this platform through YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot. And I also would like to place on record my thanks to Mythic Society and Disha Bharat to inviting me on this platform to say some of my thoughts on reimagining the education system in India, shifting from rote to real. There are two aspects here. One is the education itself, higher education, particularly I will focus. And I will also talk about how the education is shifting from rote learning to skill-based education. So, respected dignitaries, members of Disha Bharat, representatives of MyBHARAT as well, and Mythic Society, and esteemed educators, students, and all those committed to the cause of education. So, very good evening to all of you. It is indeed an honor to me to be here today to speak on a topic, on a theme, both timely and deeply significant. That is reimagining education in India. I just wanted to tell you what numbers we are looking at. You see, when we got independence, 1947, we had 1% of our students, school outgoing students, were entering the university. Only 1%. That is what we actually proved the Lord Macaulay, what he said, Indians are no good, but that he said it in 1880s, to British Parliament, that Indians are no good for higher education. So we proved them right, actually, in 1947, because a lot of poverty, issues, we are under the British. So they made us to be like that. But by 2001, this number rose to 11%. That means we took 53 years to increase 10% gross enrollment ratio in higher education. 2025 year, in 2025, our numbers are today 29%. GR, gross enrollment ratio. That means if 100 students come out of class 12, how many are coming to higher education is GR. 29 are coming out to the higher education. That means another 71 simply drop out. So that's the way you have to understand gross enrollment ratio in higher education. Okay. So this number in 2025 we reached 29%. That means we grew in 25 years 18%, from 11 to 29%. And then now we are going from 29 to 2035. Not even 2047, not Vikasit Bharat. We are talking about by 2035, because of national education policy, our goal is to reach a gross enrollment ratio of 50% by 2035. That means in 10 years, we want to grow 21%. Now imagine the numbers. 47 to 2001, that means 53 years, we only grew 10%. The next 25 years, we grew 18%. Next 10 years, we want to grow 21%. This is the biggest challenge for Indian education. Friends, apart from that, today artificial intelligence and generative AI, cyber security, robotics, and all those advanced technologies are there with us, which is disrupting the way we learn, we work, we think even. And some of them are becoming beyond us human beings, any human being. Because why I'm saying ChatGPT today has reached an IQ of 160, which is equivalent to IQ of Einstein. So imagine this is only a beginning of ChatGPT. Because day before yesterday, ChatGPT 5.0 was released. Okay. And in 2 years, there will be disruption like never ever human beings have seen. Friends, it is indeed an honor today to reimagine the education in India. And Indians are actually good in all these technologies, what I talked about. When it comes to the shift in the education system, be it technological, pedagogical, or philosophical, the change is not only real, but also inevitable. Change, who will be the winner of the change? The one who embraces the change. We are living in a time when the ways we teach, learn, and apply knowledge are undergoing a profound transformation, friends. From the integration of artificial intelligence, digital learning tools, to the adoption of flexible curricula and experiential learning methods, where hands-on experience is being counted more. The evolution is visible in classrooms, laboratories, and even in the virtual spaces, at least in engineering, I can tell you. But what I'm going to tell you is tomorrow's education will be beyond classrooms, beyond universities as well. I will tell you, we will be earning not degrees, you will be earning skills. But this transformation should not remain confined to policy documents or pilot projects like what we have developed in NEP. NEP is about 64 pages document, encompasses such a flexibility to the students. It is centered around students. So it must become a living reality in every institution. So many of them yet not understood. And not only this policy has to become reality in every institution, every classroom, and every learner. So it is a learner-centric policy. The change should not just be the means of education, friends, but also in its purpose, to create thinkers, problem solvers, innovators, and responsible citizens who can thrive in an unpredictable future. Here at this moment, I will tell you, I will like to quote Alvin Toffler, what he said very long back. Quote, "The future belongs to those who learn, unlearn, and relearn." Quote close. That is as simple as this. It summarizes everything. Our own, to quote Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, quotes, "Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he was born in another time." Please remember, these younger kids are born in completely different time. So our education, what we thought is the best, will not be the best and maybe the worst. So we need to move on, change. Indeed, education is evolving slowly because it is a big elephant in the room. So surely it is evolving, but we don't see that coming through in our universities because they are very slow change makers. Yet in many classrooms around the world, the focus remains on memorization rather than understanding. That's the topic of today's rote learning to what real learning. The 21st century demands more than just academic knowledge because it requires adaptability, creativity, emotional intelligence, and digital fluency. See, the number table we used to remember by heart, that is gone out of the box. Because today there are calculators, they have computers, supercomputers, and now the chat GPTs are here. So most traditional education systems are rooted in the industrial age when all these technologies were not there. There was no communication between the other people. So it is designed to produce workers who could follow instruction and fit into predictable roles. This model rewarded conformity, discouraged questioning, and prioritized grades over growth. See, I still remember that very, very clearly when I was going to the college. When I, out of courage, I stand up and ask a question, my teacher used to say, sit down. We will discuss it later. So that days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. This model is not going to work now because our younger generation are much smarter, bolder, and confident. They will not listen to you. They will not, don't listen even to parents now, how they will listen to the teachers. So we now live in an era of artificial intelligence, remote working, and constant change. The changes, challenges we face is not just this disruption in technology, friends, climate change, mental health, misinformation, that is the fake news, and social media require critical thinkers, not passive learners. So that's where we need to change. There is no way that we can continue the way what we are doing today. We have to transform. Real learning, that's the title again, is not just about absorbing information. It is about understanding the concept and applying them in new context. Asking questions and seeking answers independently. Collaborating with peers to solve real-world problems. Reflecting on one's growth, strengths, and areas of improvement. Friends, note this. This is the era of ChatGPT kind of tools, wherein all of this can be done very, very easily. I just today took a review of ChatGPT 5.0 with none other than OpenAI CEO of India. He told me how ChatGPT has been made to learn with the user. You see, it will not give just an answer. It will make you to ask questions. And these questions, that is where prompt engineering plays a major role. India has always been a land of knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Our ancient centers of learning, Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramashila, and many more, Pushpagiri, many things I can keep on telling you, were not just about memorizing facts. They were about inquiry, debate, and the pursuit of wisdom. Knowledge was lived, experienced, and shared, not simply stored in the mind to be reproduced in the examination. However, somewhere along the journey of this, our education system became more about what to remember rather than how to think. So this is where we need to change. This is where it has to be changed. There is no second question about it because we are in the artificial intelligence era. There is this artificial intelligence. There is nothing artificial about it. Actually, this is an augmented intelligence. This is a crowd intelligence. It will always stay above any human being intelligence. So this is where we began valuing the quantity of information, regarding over the quality of understanding. So this rote learning culture has created a generation of degree holders who sometimes struggle with real-world problem-solving, creativity, and adaptability. That's when the employment is not there because they cannot even think. They think always their degree will get them job, or government is there to give them the job, and they should take a salary and take it home. And that is where all these problems in the society has come. See, everybody has to think and create their own products and imaginations and work. Then I'll tell you, he will not be looking for real jobs. He will have a lot of time to spend on other things, which is important for the life, because life is here not just to study something and cracking examination. This is what has happened today. Up to class 12, children are so stressed. Simply they been made cracking exams. I think this ChatGPT will do better than them in 2 minutes or 5 minutes when compared to what they do after learning from class 6 or class 8 onwards. Some of the mothers, I think, have to be told. I think that is where I really like to come to Disha Bharat today. Why? Because I want to tell my mothers that please don't force your children. The way you think that engineering, medical is important is not correct today. They will learn anything, they can survive anything. See, today survival of human being is very, very easy. See, I think many of you have seen it. Earning is not a problem at all. Whatever degree you have, so let them enhance their that imagination, and let them ask thousands of questions. inquiry. You might have remembered, even in Mahabharata, the entire story is about Krishna listening to Arjuna, asking even in the front of the war, inquiry, questions. So these questions has to remain. That's the mind where when asked questions. Friends, demands of 21st century, with its rapidity of changing technology, global challenges, and interconnected economics, you have already seen what is happening in the world. You see, Trump's war on tariffs, he is scared everyone, every country. It's already taken $10 trillion down the drain just by announcing tariffs. $10 trillion. Where did it go? It simply vanished because there is no value, there is no confidence, nobody is doing trade at all. That's what happens when a scare is created like that. So it cannot be met by rote learning. So things have to be critically think. Our young people have to think. They have the capability of thinking, which machines cannot do. They require critical thinking, innovation, emotional intelligence. They have to also compose and look at, what others are doing and why I'm here, what all the things you need to be do. So, and the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Again, I would like to quote the feature that is Alvin Toffler is a phenomenal, statement he made. Quotes: the future belongs to those who learn, unlearn, and relearn. That means we need to embrace these new technologies. We need to adopt to the new world order. Friends, let me take you to the next. So, what this new order will actually bring you, that is from rote to real learning, what it means, why I say real learning. I mean learning that engages the mind in questioning, analyzing, and applying concepts. That means it engages the mind, that connects the knowledge to life, so that what is learned in the classroom can be implemented in society, industry, and daily living. Then he doesn't need to be scared of job. He doesn't need to worry about his lively earning for survival. So survival is taken care very easily. And it encourages creativity, not just finding the right answer, but finding new ways to answer. See, this is what the beauty is. You need to find new ways to answer the question. It is not just the only one answer is there. So right now what we are teaching, it is there in the textbook, this is the answer. Most of the textbooks are also wrong, considering the technology development. So we also need to, another important thing we need to do is build values and ethics. That's where Indian education system, particularly the IKS, Indian knowledge system, plays a major role. See, what really integrating Indian knowledge system into higher education reconnects formal learning with local knowledge, deepens context-sensitive research, and prepares graduates to solve real-world problems in Indian ecosystem, languages, and practices. See, that's the beauty about AI. AI integrates all languages, all problems. It doesn't really distinguishes the West and the East. So why integrating IKS is very critical. It grounds the curriculum in local context, local economy, and increases in the relevance and students' engagement. It expands epistemic diversity, multiple ways of knowing, whether it is oral, practice-based, craft, rituals. Ritual also the learning today, friends, which we have done, and we always commented on the rituals. But I think COVID has taught us the rituals are also very important. So this complements the scientific inquiry, because science has not given you answers to all questions. Science is a good way of answering some questions, but there is beyond science. That's where the consciousness is also to be taken care. It strengthens the community. It is campus linkages, creates the two-way knowledge of exchange when Indian knowledge system is integrated into the system. Friends, here I would like to bring real learning happens when a child builds a model by his hand in either a science lab or in an idea lab or wherever he has an opportunity. Understand why this works. See, that means, and see, this was the difference between science and an engineer earlier, but I think the gap between science and engineering is reducing. That's where we need to do that, not just coming to science and engineering, even in the school level. So what it happens when an engineering student or any student applies classroom theories to solve a community's water problem or waste handling problem, that is where, we really learn. It happens when a history student does not just remember dates, but understands the lessons that history offers for today's governance and society. See, history, for the sake of some ruler ruled, it doesn't really make any sense to us. But what they did at that time, what did Chanakya did, is it any relevant today's governance and today's society? That kind of analogy is very, very critical. This is where I'm very happy to tell you we are in a golden time. We are in Amrit Kaal. That's where the NEP has been brought in. National Education Policy 2020, which was adopted in July 2020, completed 5 years, friends. Phenomenal, excellent learnings have happened in the last 5 years. There are phenomenal case studies. It is not that everything, somebody might tell, NEP we didn't implement, many states have done, not done. Let me tell you, NEP is not complete implementation, cannot be done in 5 years. It will take its own time, because there are a lot of things which has to be done. We need to change at the ground level. So the National Education Policy has given us a visionary blueprint to move towards the real learning. It promotes flexibility in the curriculum. It promotes allowing students to choose combinations of subjects and pursue their interests. That's very important. See, a science student should pick up a music or an art, and he should be able to learn that. It emphasizes experiential learning by doing things like project work, field visits, internships, and research, starting from early years, not when they come to university. Very early, we need to bring in these concepts in the school education itself, and they are ready to, when they come to university, they have not fear that kind of an education. It introduces the multiple entry and exit options. If a student somehow, due to some pressure, entered into a wrong stream, he should be able to come back and do what he is interested to do. Options to learning should be given to them. That's what NEP provides. It is seen as a lifelong process, because learning never ends. That's the beauty about NEP. NEP emphasizes on lifelong learning. Whether it is, it goes beyond teacher-assisted learning. See, in our time, it is only teacher. Whatever teacher says is the final. But today, it goes beyond teacher-assisted learning. There is self-learning, collaborative learning, peer learning. All these are very, very critical. And then experiential learning by hands-on doing. And then further, it is about, lifelong learning. So these 5 lifelong learning methodologies are part of the National Education Policy. It encourages other very important thing. See, India is a country of at least, large number of languages. 22 officially recognized constituent part of the constitution languages, 22 languages. But 12 of them are very, very prevalently used, and large number of people use them day to day. And so it encourages, the NEP encourages the use of mother tongue and regional languages to ensure that understanding is deep and inclusive. See, when we think in our mother tongue, that's completely different, You don't need to, really, it is very deep and inclusive. You'll also have a touch, because this is sensitivity about the mother tongue. So NEP actually focuses on holistic education, friends. Integrates arts, integrates sports, vocational skills, and value-based education alongside academic subjects. At All India Council for Technical Education, many of you may not know when it was born. But Madam, I was very happy to hear. Madam said, we are following AICTE's induction program, where we make every student to go through. It's not about knowing about your course, but many other things beyond the classrooms, beyond the academic curriculum. So at AICTE, we have aligned our curriculum framework with NEP 2020 principles, ensuring that technical education in India becomes more hands-on, industry relevant, and multidisciplinary. So the narrative actually today is all our engineering colleges are no good, there are no teachers, there are no quality. But believe me, with all that problem, we are able to deliver engineering education to the whole world. See, look at any company today, our engineers are there. I will tell you a small story. I was a director at IIT. I asked my faculty, where did you graduate from? So they said, sir, I did my MTech from IIT Madras, PhD from Carnegie Mellon, postdoc from Harvard. I said, where did you graduate? They don't want to even tell you. See, 96% of the professors in IIT graduated not from IIT. They would have graduated from one of the engineering colleges, which you are all knowing, either government or private, or even aided colleges like BMS or something like that. So that means we need to change the narrative. Even the scientists in ISRO, 96% of them, not even NITs students are there. All of them are local engineering college students, scientists who have achieved such a great thing. DRDO, all labs of DRDO have our scientists from these engineering colleges, engineers. And similarly, Baba Atomic Research Center, 11 institutions are there in the country. Okay, it works under Homi Baba National Institute, HBNI. All of them are engineers from second and third grade engineering college. Even if you go to California, friends, lot of them you meet only engineers from second and third grade. Why? Because all IITs put together today, as of today, all of you know that 6 IITs were there until 2000. Beyond that, only all these new IITs have come. As of today, 22 IITs accommodates 15,000 students. 15 lakh students appear in the JEE. That's a mind-boggling number. Only 15,000 we select. And all NITs put together another 20,000. 35,000. But if you did not know, AICTE approved engineering colleges earlier something like 4,000, today the 3,000 plus 3,000, less than 3,000 institutions are there, engineering colleges, takes approval from AICTE, produces 1.5 million engineers from last 10 to 15 years. That means all NITs, IITs put together are less than 1% of my engineering graduates which comes out of the country. So IITs cannot be there everywhere, which also know IITs are a model institution, which have done the research, innovation, top-notch quality after 2000 only. Before 2000, they were only engineering colleges. I will tell them, before 2000, all my IITs were engineering colleges. Whatever, some of the IIT graduates will feel bad, but that's the reality. Because 2003, there is a current science paper. Some of you can look at it. How many research papers and innovations, patents have come from all institutions? There were that time 7 IITs, including 5 older IITs, and the 6th one is Guwahati, and the 7th one was Roorkee. And at that time, all number of papers of one Indian Institute of Science, all 7 IITs put together was less than IISc. That was 2003. Today, IIT Madras alone has crossed Indian Institute of Science, IIT Delhi also. So that means last 20 years, even IITs have transformed themselves into institutes of Indian technologies. A lot of innovation, startups have happened. So IITs have done their job in that direction, but who are those? Again, I'm telling you, they are my engineering college graduates. So we need to change the narrative that engineering college graduates are no less. And many of the girls, I will tell you, many of I know, even my daughter, I didn't want to send her to IIT because she will go away from home. Better she stays near my college, studies, and she'll be a rank holder. And she's always with us. Boys, we don't mind sending them. Girls are always with us. So this is the, I think, story of every family. Story of every family in India. Let me tell you, there is no, maybe just a small 1% exception again there. So what I would like to, key initiatives what we have taken at AICTE to model, to change the engineering. I also have to give you as chairman AICTE, a model curriculum revision. We continuously revise the curriculum, introducing emerging technologies like AI, robotics, green energy, space technology, cyber security, even defense technologies, integrating practical components. We have created newer curriculum. Please look at our website. We have also created idea labs, that is called innovation, design, and entrepreneurship labs, emphasizing the innovation, design thinking, and entrepreneurship, where students can turn ideas into prototypes, moving from theoretical learning to practical creation. And that when we make a product development nation, when we become a product development like China, then only we can become Vikasit Bharat. So it's a very important thing that we make our students to not memorize something, to know about the fundamentals. It is the creation of the work, and they don't need to work alone. They can work 4 or 5 people team together. So that means they don't need to know every mathematics, every physics themselves. They can learn. A social scientist, humanity person, engineering graduate, medical doctor, all work together to develop a product. All their knowledge can come, assimilate together. It will be like an augmented intelligence. Again, this is what augmented intelligence is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Internship mandate is given at AICTE mandatory today, making every student to compulsorily go to, sir, where are the internship? If you did not know, AICTE has created an internship portal where 75,000 companies are there. AICTE internship portal hosts 75,000 companies. Large number, we are not restricting only engineering colleges. We are allowing all higher education institutions to register there. I'm very happy to tell you 4 crore students have registered. We have delivered 75 lakhs internship already in the last 2 years. And similarly, we have a AICTE career portal where again internship is also provided, jobs are provided, 7 lakh employers are there. These are the newer tools and technologies we are using. Faculty development program, we have trained 300,000 faculties. We have 6.5 lakhs teachers, but 3 lakh teachers we have trained continuously on newer areas, emerging areas, or even how to teach core engineering. So you don't need to be fear about our teacher quality in our engineering colleges. There are better teachers. It is not just the only IIT. IITs have a brand name. Definitely, I agree. But don't push your children simply to IITs. There are better institutions. Give them a space. They can be better. Even, for example, I come from a Kannada medium school and studied in Government BDT College of Engineering. Today, I'm heading the educational technology education entire country. So it is possible. It is not necessary that you have to go to an IIT to rule an IIT. I did become a director of an IIT. I did not study in IIT. So please allow them to study what they want to study. Let them explore their own imagination. So this is where we also encourage languages. See, I'm very happy to tell you, first batch of Marathi language, data science and artificial student, complete 4-year program in Marathi. They graduated with 100% placement. Not 1 or 2, 100% placement. Luckily, you might say, sir, Pune is a very industrial city. They have given the jobs. Yes, definitely. That's why opportunities should be created to the young people to study in different languages. So we are encouraging the teachers also. We have a Vani scheme wherein we are allowing learning resources in regional languages. And we have developed textbooks in first engineering, first and second year diploma, first and second year and third year engineering program. We have already developed in 12 languages textbooks. They are not run-of-the-mill textbook. They are outcome-based textbooks. Very, very originally created, translated into 12 different languages, checked for all the quality, checked, everything is done. Very recently, Kannada books have been released about 2 months back. Honorable Governor of Karnataka did it. And we are encouraging our students to solve the problems using Smart India Hackathon. Last year, Smart India Hackathon 2024, 300,000 students participated. That means 3 lakh students participated. This year, 2025, we are expecting 500,000 students to start. So this Smart India Hackathon started in 2017 by AICTE. That time, nobody knew what is a hackathon word itself. Okay, just like when I joined, I did not know what is a placement. Today, every student knows a placement set. They do not even choose a college if there is no placement set. Okay, but in our time, if you do, we may not be astonished, and Raghuramji can relate it to. When I took in civil engineering because my father said you will get a job in PWD. And there are only 2 agencies to give me a job. There are no placement cell in the college. One is PWD, one is electricity board. So that's why the popular programs were civil engineering and electrical engineering. Not computer science was not there when I joined engineering. So during that time we studied, we can think differently. That's what we need to all look at it, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to shift from, what I wanted to come to the point is shift from rote learning to real learning, which will require addressing some long-standing challenges in our educational institutions, not the students. I'm telling you, our kids are very smartest. I don't think we were so smart at our age because we didn't have social media, we didn't have TV, we didn't have telephone, we could not talk to anybody. So I did not even know there was an IIT. See, that's the kind of a world we were in at that time. Okay, but today's kids are not like that. Please understand, they are smartest of the smartest. They have information at their fingertips. So their assessment system have to be completely different. So their assessment system should largely should be not from memorization, rather than it has to be application. Curriculum overload is also, so I want to teach engineering for 5 years and I have studied and let these kids also study 5 years, which is not a concept at all. You don't need 5 years study. See, please watch my word. In 5 years, there will be programs where don't care about degrees at all. The students will be joining excellent jobs, create their own thing. Please look at the successful people. Apple CEO, and all of them are not educated. They didn't go to any college, but they created the empires. Maybe those are small examples, small number of people those time, but in the future, those numbers will be larger than the what we saw in the part. So teaching, what important thing to change is the teachers. Whether it is school education, middle school education, higher education, elementary school, everywhere, teacher is the one I am seeing a problem. Why? Because they are our generation. They don't want to change. That change, if they don't change, I will tell you, we have a serious problem for our society. Teachers must evolve to equip educators with new pedagogical approaches. And first of all, teachers should understand, I do not know. They must first make sure that I do not know anything. Then, you will learn to seek something new. You will learn. Then you will be able to teach. If you say, oh, I know, that is what you know in the textbook, whatever textbook you are following. That textbook may be completely wrong today. Theories are changing. Science is evolving. Engineering is evolving. So that's where. Another issue is, from a rote real learning to real learning in the infrastructure gaps. As I told you, we are going to have a GER of 50% by 2035. That means another 4.5 crore children are going to come to higher education. Today we have about 4.3 to 4.4 crore children in higher education. In 10 years, if we grew at 21%, okay, we will have how many? 9 crore students. So to accommodate this presently 4.3 crore children, we have 1,200 universities and about 50,000 colleges. But imagine, another 5 crore students come into system in 10 years. Look at, where are the universities? Where are the colleges? These colleges are not enough to accommodate another 4 crore children. So that's a big challenge for us. There is an infrastructure gap. We need to create newer universities, newer colleges, because students are already there, ladies and gentlemen. Why? I will tell you, we reached in elementary education. Elementary education means class 1 to class 5. We reached the gross enrollment ratio of 94% in 2015. And we never failed any student after class 1 up to class 10. Because we said promote. Whether he learned or not, we promoted. Only last 2 months back, school education said 8th class also you can fail. Okay. So that means, imagine 2015, those students are there. And now they have come to 10 years, 2025, they have come to 10th class. In 2 years, they will be in the university. How many universities will require? So just to get you the number, right number, thanks to Ministry of Education, which has introduced recently Academic Bank of Credits. Most of the educators know about it. And through that Academic Bank of Credits, there is a unique ID for every student starting from Balavatika to PhD, which is called as APAR ID. APAR ID is being given to every student, which is linked to Academic Bank of Credits. So if you just Google either ABC or APAR ID in Ministry of Education website, you will see 32.6 crore children have already registered. This is one of the best projects of the Ministry of Education, I say. Why? Because 26.5 crore children are from class 1 to class 12. There. This is school education. And then rest 4.5 crores are in higher education and 1 crore in skilling, ITIs and all those, not diploma. Diploma is again comes to the higher education. So we have a big challenge in creating infrastructure, particularly in the rural and small town institutions. That's where our young people are rising. They want to be put into education. They are aspirational. They are seeing the neighbors. They are the large number of first generation learners in their families. So these challenges are not insurmountable, ladies and gentlemen, because 10 years we have a goal and we will achieve it because thanks to technology. This technology is mind-boggling. Everybody is ready today. See, we are the largest smartphone handlers in the world. And we are also having large number of digital, because of thanks to the UPI. Majority of our transactions happen. We have changed the definition of literacy in numeracy, because a person who doesn't know how to read, write, and also sign today puts a QR code in front of you and collects money. Like, for example, I'm talking about vegetable vendor or coconut vendor, all those people. So how did they learn? They've learned. They've created their own bank account. So there is learning happens in a multiple ways, ladies and gentlemen. It need not happen in the schools. So these challenges are not insurmountable. One example we have already seen, that what we have transformed from 2016 to 2025, not even 10 years. So we are very confident in Ministry of Education. We are going to reach 50% GER by 2035. We need to create different kinds of universities, distance learning, online learning, digital learning. All these are going to be part of that. Teachers should become facilitators and mentors rather than just information deliverers. See, the kind of teachers what I had, who memorizes, comes in and writes on the board, are not at all required today. Students must take ownership of their learning, seeking out opportunities to apply and extend classroom lessons. Institutions must create an environment that encourage experimentation, curiosity, and collaboration. Friends, industry must work with academia to ensure that learning is relevant and future ready. So they cannot be again going to industry and spend 1 year to learn what industry does. So it all has to happen within the university system. That's what is happening already, friends. India in 2047, when we celebrate 100 years of independence, will be shaped by the quality of learning we provide today. That's where this topic really fascinated me. Rote learning to real learning. So we cannot afford to produce graduates who are rich in degrees but poor in skills. So we need to make them skills. That is what I'm saying. In another 2, 3 or 5, even 5 years, I think degrees will become irrelevant. It will be only those who have skills will survive. What kind of skills? It could be any kind of skills, language skills, emotional skills, personal skills, communication skills, English speaking skills, anything, some skill, and artistic skills, music skills, okay, are important today. Let us bring back the spirit of our ancient universities, where learning was a journey of discovery. See, Guru, when you join, he doesn't start the classroom, ABC. He used to say, go and fetch your sticks for firewood for me. Go and clean the cow shed. And then only you can come and do a prayer and start the classes. See, that's the kind of spirit of, I'm not saying that we should do that. What I'm trying to say is, it is a journey of discovery where the teacher-student bond was sacred and where knowledge was applied to the betterment of the society. Moving from rote to real learning is not just an educational reform, ladies and gentlemen. It is a national imperative. Then only we can see Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Together, all of us actually work together, particularly the role of women is the most important in this, because majority of our school teachers are all women. I addressed one meeting in Bengaluru, all the principals of high school. Can you imagine 96% of the professors, 1,000 people were there. 96% were women professors who are the principals and head of the institution. So they have to think differently. They have to think differently about rote learning to real learning. And it is a national imperative. Together, let us ensure that our classrooms are not factories of memory. Okay? So you can still say, oh, my tables are important. That will enlighten my memory. I agree, that is different. But this cannot continue because there are machines to do that. Calculators are there to do that. And it should be gardens of creativity. Our mind has to be a gardens of creativity, innovation, and more importantly, human values, ladies and gentlemen. Human values, that's why AICTE gives you universal human value course to every student in engineering. Our induction program is very unique. We teach yoga, meditation, and how to work with others, peer learning. This is what is important. And why we are here, all of us. It is not just about, this is the one thing, beauty about the human beings. It is not just, eat, find food, eat, and produce is not the one we have to do. We have to be higher thinking. That's where I think Disha type of institutions are very important. Friends, lifelong learning mindset encourages continuous skill upgradation beyond formal education. That's where everybody will have an opportunity to learn. That's why I said ABC will be very beautiful today. You learn one from one university and get credit transferred to your account, and then go and learn. And it has to be interdisciplinary, breaking the subject silos and encourage knowledge integration. And it should be active and experiential learning, integrating projects, problem solving, and real applications. And technology is here to stay with us. Technology enabled learning, if you don't really adopt in your life, then it becomes a very, very difficult for you. So you need to embrace the technology, particularly AI, artificial intelligence. Every one of you should embrace. And our assessments have to change. Not the way we are assessing, giving a one test and looking at continuous assessment is good thing, but evaluate analytical ability, innovation, making them to develop products and ideas and application, not just example. I think, in Indian Institute of Science, I have taught 35 years. I have not failed any student. You might say, sir, you're taking good student. No, none of my students are IIT graduates. Okay, that means they are not the top cream students. All my students who comes to PhD or master's program at Indian Institute of Science are average from a regular engineering college, second grade students. But we transform them to professors, innovators, thinkers. So teacher as a mentor, if he works, he will empower the young people to learn. So empower teachers we need to empower today teachers to facilitate curiosity driven exploration instead of delivering lectures. So they should not think that they know everything. They should allow others to think, because ChatGPT is there to really guide them. So let me finally conclude my talk today, because the artificial intelligence is here. I have written two books, which I would like to show you. This is called The Road Ahead. I don't know whether you will be able to see.
So we can't see, it's blurry.
Yeah, it's blur. I don't know why. Maybe let me see whether I can remove the background. Then it might work. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is called Road Ahead 2.0. What is this? There are two volumes, 750 pages. Road Ahead was written in 1995 by Bill Gates. Our book is Road Ahead 2.0, how AI is going to transform. It is already available in Amazon. If you put my name Sitharam, Sitharam, not Sitaram or Swtha, Sitharam, and Road Ahead 2.0, you will find in this thing. What is this book? The world, friends, the world is at a watershed moment in the entire history of the earth. That AI is transforming. So the onset of AI is like the discovery of fire. You imagine when human beings started find the fire, then they learn how to grow, how to cook food, and how to start eating. Otherwise, they will simply kill some animals or kill themselves, each other, and eat. So the onset of AI is like a discovery of fire, but this time the fire is thinking. The fire is thinking. So that's the beauty about artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, you please read the book. You might have, because none other than Professor Philip Kotler has given the foreword for this book. Philip Kotler is a world-class marketing expert in the world. Okay, he is 92 years old. He lives in Florida, and he says, "Road Ahead was written by Bill Gates. Artificial intelligence is indeed the road ahead 2.0. This here is the passport to imagination." So my next book is on imagineering. Okay, how to imagine, okay, to solve problems. So that's what I would like to stop here and take some few questions. I think I've taken 50 minutes exactly. So thank you so much. Namaskar. Thanks for patiently listening. Namaskar.
Sir, thank you so much. It was indeed a very inspiring, enlightening talk. You covered so many topics about so many areas on how to reimagine the Indian education, and what is the importance of real learning, and how rote learning will not solve the problems of today or tomorrow. So we have a few questions from all of our viewers and from our side too. You said in your talk that the NEP is wanting to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50%. What are some of the strategies in the NEP that is put in place for this to be achieved, and how can this be percolated across India? What is it, sir?
Yeah, the strategy is not there in NEP. NEP has given you, because please remember, NEP document is only 64 pages and all. Okay, this is about we should achieve. But that is what Ministry of Education is. The first strategy is first to know the real numbers. That's the beauty is ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. We are successful in creating Academic Bank of Credit. And also it is about flexible credit system. That means you can take from X university one course and put it into your ABC. It's like a bank account. Okay, watch my word. In 3 years, already UGC AICTE has given flexibility of 40% of your courses can be anywhere from Swayam Plus, NEET, National Education Alliance for Technology, or Coursera, or somewhere. You can take that course. You don't need to be classroom teaching. You can learn self-learning in your bedroom. Write the exam and get the credit. Put it into ABC, and universities will accept. That's what we have told. Some universities have not graduated, but they will definitely graduate in a couple of years. Okay, they are having a problem of their own management problem because we have not trained the teachers there. Okay, but Ministry of Education is very clear. That's where we have to go. Okay, to reach. And distance education. Today we have one of the largest distance education university, IGNOU. See, unimaginable. 35 lakh students are studying. I went for a convocation of IGNOU. One student came. He's 85 years old. He got an MA degree. I said, what motivated you at 85 years to take a formal degree in it? You know what is that? You see, I am old, professor. I kept one servant to take care of me. And one day that servant came to me and said, sir, I want to pay fees. Give me some money. I didn't believe him, he said. I didn't believe him. I said, let me help you. I will help you and pay for your fees. So the boy wanted to register for MA. He registered. Then looking at him, he said, why should not I do it? Anyway, I have a lot of time in the world. I don't have my wife also, my children are here, not here. He's only one. So let me learn with him. So he registered, he paid for himself also. And both actually graduated in the same time. This is what lifelong learning is about. So amazing stories we have seen in India. And this is where I'm very confident. And this is not only two. I think I can keep on talking on many things. But I will stop here because we can accommodate a couple more questions.
Yes, sir. Just a couple of more questions. So we spoke about a lot of change that has to happen within the education system for us to make the Indian youth were ready for tomorrow with the onset of artificial intelligence and all of this. You touched upon some other things that I want to ask you also, but again, there have been continuous requests from our side also to understand what is the type of mindset change that should happen in the three key stakeholders. One is the university and the management of colleges, the teachers, and then the students themselves.
Exactly. See, these not only them, even the governments, because ours is a concurrent subject. Education is a concurrent subject. So state governments, central government are also involved in this, the decision making, policy making. Okay, and so it is not just the institutions, but my feeling is over a period of time, the institutions will have more autonomy. Okay, to offer, like it will be like IITs and IISc. I know that it's taking these people to that level is a big challenge, but that is what we have to do. And when skills are becoming the evaluators, so it doesn't matter what degrees you offer. It doesn't matter, but degrees have to be relevant. Number of years are also going to vanish. Please watch. We are already thinking why one undergraduate student should spend 4 years. Why not he can complete same number of credits in 3.5 years? You should allow the credits. We are already doing that. Or if a student is a slow learner, why not allow him to do longer period of hours? Or he wants to take a break and come back to the university again. Recently, I will tell you one story. I went to Bombay. I went for a convocation. I was a guest. And one student came after 12 years. He came back to college and finished his degree. IIT Bombay gave him. That's amazing things are happening. That's what is happening in higher education. But to sink in all these, it takes a lot of time. It's not going to happen overnight because we need to prepare all these people, what you told. Teachers, administrators, university, because 60 to 70% of the institutions are private. They are actually in the habit of only making money. Okay, so but that needs to be changed. But already I'm very happy to see while I'm traveling to many institutions, many universities, the second generation who are managing those institutions are highly educated from Western world, Western part of the world, come back, and education they've taken very seriously when compared to the first generation. So there is a lot of hope for us. That is where I am very telling you that we are going to transform. We will transform collectively the education system in India for the better, because higher education is very critical for the to be sustainable as a GDP, even economy wise also. Because look at the economies like Israel or Korea, South Korea. They have 96% GER in higher education. So unless we improve the numbers, not just the quality matters. Okay, numbers are also important because ours is the largest population in the world, 140 crore people. We need to make them educated, confident, and startup creators. That's where we are to talk about. We are already the third largest startup capital of the world. So everybody should look at their own business. Then they will be job givers than job seekers. So these are the things which we have to see. I'm very positive that we are going in the right direction.
So, thank you so much for that answer, sir. One last question. Actually, there are many, but for the
Yeah, we need to close.
One last question. You spoke about Indian knowledge systems and the necessity to go back to ancient Indian wisdom. So how should there's a lot of talk about how to teach ancient Indian wisdom, Indian knowledge systems. What is the different methodologies that should be applied? And many of us are disconnected with the language in which that wisdom was created, be it Sanskrit, Tamil, or any other Indian languages, Kannada, Bengali, you can name all of them. A lot of wisdom was created across India and even locally.
Madam, yeah, I understood your question. If you permit me, I will just answer very quickly.
Yes.
See, when we were students, you, me, and also Ramchandran Madam, or Raghuramji, very few people used to speak Sanskrit. Today, the number is very big thanks to Sanskrit Bharati. right in Girinagar, I am seeing large number of students are coming and talking, and or at least I should mention some of the name. Kamath uncle is amazing. He told me, Sitharam, when I became Sanskrit Bharati volunteer, I never knew Sanskrit. I only knew my mother tongue and Kannada. Okay, I think he speaks Konkani or Tulu. I don't remember exactly. And Konkani and Kannada. And he says I picked up Sanskrit, and today it is in 160 countries. Sanskrit. So what I'm trying to tell you is language or rich resources which are in Sanskrit. That's what you're saying. Are in our mother tongues have to be explored. And there are technologies today. See, today I told you ChatGPT 5.0. I was talking. See, there is a simple problem solving. That is a weight on a slope when it is going to slide. It's a friction problem. But I can ask in Kannada. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆ ರೇಟು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ChatGPT will answer in Kannada. And also it makes you to think. So language is no barrier today, thanks to these technology and tools. Even AICTE has developed Anuvadini tool. If some of you have not used, please use it. It's amazing technology. That's where we are using to translate many textbooks and everything. So what really happens is, because of this, Indian knowledge, we didn't have a belief ourselves. Jyotisha means we used to condemn. But look at the maths in Jyotisha. So much math has gone in. And we need to recognize this knowledge. Not, this is also because of some people misusing and properly not depicting that. That is also there. But very good scholars have to come, highlight the importance of every science which was there in the Indian knowledge before. Everything is valid today. Everybody has proved it. Western world is saying how Indian values were better than the whole world. So this is the golden time for Indian system, and this is where we have also have confidence in our system. The way we can, we are actually performing as a nation also shows you that everyday dialogues. I don't need to explicitly say something, but we are a very confident society today when compared to even 15 years back. So I think this confidence will take us to the next level, and we will explore our past histories, past science, past things which are there. I will tell you one small incident and then close it. In Ayodhya, Temple Foundation, I was being asked to look at as a director of IIT. Go there and look at it. I said, sir, geotechnical engineering, that is about ground, is like doctoring the ground. So you need to see, patient has to see the patient, doctor has to see the patient, like that. So geotechnical engineer has to see the site. I went into the site in the peak COVID time and gave a report completely differently, which is, I told them to excavate the entire foundation. When they excavated, they found the artifacts which belong to thousands and thousands of years back. And it will be all kept in the Ayodhya Sriram Janmabhoomi Temple Museum. And I think all of you will have a chance to see that. But that itself is a revelation. If I had simply gone with a pile foundation like what Bengaluru Metro is doing, drilling, we would have lost that entire knowledge. So what I'm trying to tell you is there is the knowledge which are real. They are not fake. They are not epic stories. They are real. See, Ramayana, Mahabharata are all real. So things have happened, but it is such a long period, we have lost the track of it. So all of this, our young people have to first believe in our system, believe in Indian knowledge system, which has a wealth, real wealth, and we need to learn more languages. As I told you, we should not be just restricting to ourselves to English. We should also learn Sanskrit. We should learn Tamil. We should learn Telugu as much as possible. Then we'll be a multilingual person. That is why multilingual is order of the day, and all of us should not hesitate to learn newer languages and be part of the growth of the entire history, not looking at only the short.
Thank you so much, sir. This entire 60 minutes, I think it was a transformative journey for each of us listening to you. We said reimagine the Indian education. I think it has already been reimagined. Now we have to actually make that shift from real to rote learning as a society, as a civilization. In this Amrit Kal, with the increased confidence in the society and civilizational belief, I hope we all take small steps, but real assertive steps towards bringing back the wisdom of India for the goodness of the society and the world by and large. Thank you so much for your talk and your time. Thanks, sir. Thanks once again for coming on the Disha Bharat platform. I would like to conclude this session by tomorrow's slide, please. By informing our viewers about what is up next tomorrow. This My Bharat campaign is a 7-day campaign that is happening throughout from now up till the Independence Day. And every day at 7 o'clock, we have lectures from eminent personalities across India. And tomorrow we have, can we have the slide, please? Yes, tomorrow we have a talk on another very interesting subject, the role of judiciary in shaping Bharat as a global champion of democracy by Shri Aruna Shyamji. Request all of you to once again join us at the Disha Bharat YouTube platforms and anywhere, any platform that of your choice, and definitely listen to the wonderful talk that is there lined up for tomorrow also. Thank you all once again. Shubhratri.
Send me the link of the recorded event. Thank you.
Definitely, sir, we will. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, madam.